Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So how many of you on your way here passed extensive Christmas decorations? I think I can expect all hands. How many have extensive decorations in their neighborhood already up?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a lot. You've been to a department store lately or a supermarket, and maybe you've already begun to hear the music of Christmas saturating everything around us. And I don't want to sound like an old man, but when I was a little kid, I don't remember the decorations going up quite this early. I seem to recall, and you know, it could just be my old man memory, that the decorations didn't go up until after Thanksgiving at the earliest. And in fact, many people waited until December officially began before they would put anything up. But it feels like there is a Christmas creep, like it is just moving further and further forward in the calendar. Now, and there are still some Halloween decorations, and actually I've got to admit as well, although not the subject for tonight, that Halloween as well was not nearly as well decorated when I was young. They didn't have, you know, the giant skeletons and all the things on your porch. You were lucky to get a few cotton balls pulled apart to make some cobwebs. So that has definitely also gotten quite elaborate and also quite early, which does reinforce the point in one way, which is asking why? Why have these decorations for Christmas or Halloween, if it's your pleasure? Why have these decorations, the music, the atmosphere continued to expand beyond the older borders that people used to have for them? What do you think is inspiring people to put them up earlier?
Their pleasure.
Their pleasure, right?
Yeah.
They like them.
They feel good.
It feels good. Right? When you put up these symbols of their holidays, or whether it be Christmas or Halloween, for the people for whom these holidays are important, they feel good seeing them up. And it is reinforced when they see them there a little bit earlier. And when they see everybody else having these Halloween decorations up, when they see their neighbors putting theirs up, well, then there's also an element of, well, if they're putting it up, then I guess it's okay to put it up. Because I, again, remember that people would sometimes maybe even be embarrassed to put their decorations up too early. But once enough people on your block are putting them up, you no longer feel so embarrassed. Now you can enjoy your decorations for a longer period of time, given how hard they can be to put up. You might as well get the most out of them, and it makes a lot of sense that it has expanded. It has become more acceptable, and thus people do what they want to do when they see that acceptability.
Create nostalgia.
And for many people, it is a giant swimming pool of nostalgia. They can experience memories, hopefully warm and friendly, and if not, invented, of things that they wish they had done in order to feel that way longer. After all, if you only put it up, you know, a week before, then you don't have as much time to marinate.
It's also so nice once it starts getting dark to have all the lights. And actually in Anchorage, they were encouraging people not to take down their lights, just so that there would be lights in the community, and it helped people's moods.
We're talking Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes.
Okay, right. So yes, in extreme circumstances, keep them up all year in order to give ourselves a little more light as Alaska is beginning its long march through winter. That these lights are very meaningful. Well, now, if you'll pardon, we're going to take a hard turn. Same topic, but the other end of the spectrum. Why are hate symbols becoming more prevalent? Why are people feeling more emboldened to make statements of racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, xenophobic against other nations? Why are people feeling it's okay to show a swastika outside their house or have one proudly emblazoned on their clothing? Why is this? It's not because they're celebrating Christmas, don't get me wrong, that's not the connection.
My theory is from immigration, because we spent millions of dollars fighting anti-Semitism in the United States, mostly white supremacy, but it was happening all over the world. So as people immigrated to the United States, all the anti-Semitism from whatever country, the Middle East or Europe, they brought with them.
That is a creative theory that I think does little to explain the actual fact. You can go into deepest, darkest Idaho, where very few immigrants have moved, and find a cornucopia of hateful symbols and speech. I don't think they learned that from immigrants that moved there from other parts of the world.
But it's not as big as what you see in like New York City, where you see people shutting down Columbia University.
We're going to have to continue to disagree on that particular point. We can still look at the data of the FBI's files of what actually precipitates violence in these issues. But I think we can say that earlier, now, and in the future, the majority of hate that we see is homegrown. And as such, we have to ask, why is it more common now? And I am going to push back. I don't think they all learned it at university. I don't think that's where the swastika became a common motif.
I don't think they learned it there. I just thought they.
Yeah, I think it is a combination of the fear of the unknown and also to have a scapegoat.
No. See, I think we're getting off tangent here, right? I tried to lay the groundwork with our Christmas decorations, but let me rein it back in. I'm not asking why do people hate. Right, that we've talked about before, and there is a myriad of reasons of why people hate. I'm asking, why is hate speech, hate symbolism, becoming more commonly shown and heard?
Because they want to be part of a particular group, and they can identify with things that they have learned early on in their lives, and it's okay now to say and project those images because you identify with that group.
It's okay now because there's a group that will give you a nice big thumbs up, right? The same way that your HOA is not going to tell you to take down your Christmas decorations in September. They might have 30 years ago, but now they're not going to because it is acceptable. For many people, they have been emboldened by the response, the reinforcement, and the community they have formed, locally sometimes, but more often than not on the internet, that makes them feel like there are people out there just like them, that agree with reasons to hate, that agree that whichever group they are targeting today deserves whatever slur they are giving, and thus they feel free. They want to enjoy and maybe even have the nostalgia of imagining some time in the past when such behavior was commonly accepted and had only been tamped down by all those PC people, and now they're able to speak their mind again and find the warm glow of the community that can surround them. Essentially, we see throughout human history and throughout human societies of all types, for good and for bad, when you allow or encourage certain types of behavior and certain types of speech and certain types of symbols, you get more of it. Sometimes that can mean we've got twinkly lights off people's homes that help us walk the dog and not be out in pitch dark. Sometimes it means that we have people who are behaving in a hateful manner. Now, I don't think we need to change any of the views of our neighbors on how early they put out their lights. But is there a reason to want to call out, to condemn, to point out that this is wrong when someone engages in hate speech? Or should we look at it as, hey, you do you. If you want to hang your Christmas lights early or keep you up your skeletons late, that's fine. If you want to hate the Jews or whichever other group you've got, do you. It's just words. It's just talk. If you want to walk around proudly down the center of the street with the swastika on your chest, why should that bother me? It's just a symbol. You can have an ugly Christmas sweater or you can have an ugly Nazi sweater. Who cares? Is there a reason why we should care? Or are these equivalent? Again, I'm not looking for a government mandate to change any of this. I'm asking as a society, as people who live together, is there a difference between hate speech and other types of speech? Between hate symbolism and other types of symbolism? And should our reaction be different? The answer I think we're all feeling is, yeah, I think so. And that is because ultimately, when you allow more and brighter and earlier Christmas displays, what you get are more and brighter and earlier Christmas displays, and you know what? No one really gets hurt. But when you allow more and brighter and louder hate displays, well, that becomes fertile soil for hate actions. That becomes a place where people will feel emboldened not only to proudly display hate symbols, but to proudly act in fulfillment of the ideology that those symbols represent. And that means that we, us here, as well as us as a community at large, have a responsibility to not look away and say, ah, that's terrible, but to shame those that still engage in activities of hate, to make sure that our neighbors know that we condemn it, to make sure our coworkers know, man, I saw some guy driving down the street and he had like an iron cross on the back of his, Jeep. I mean, can you imagine celebrating a Nazi war medal? That's crazy. Let them know that this is something you don't approve of. Let them know that the people they are around find it reprehensible. Let them know that this is not something that deserves to be ignored in the interest of good community and relations and neighborliness. That if it is ignored, it doesn't go away. If it is ignored, it will only get worse. You may not be in a position to accost or direct your comments to the person perpetrating this act, but you can talk to your friends, your neighbors, and others. Let them know how displeased you are. Let them know how unacceptable you think this is. Let them know that this is not your community. This is not your country. Shabbat Shalom.